Let D equal to the determinant, first row A1, B1, C1, second row A2, B2, C2, third row A3, B3, C3, equal to A1 times B2, C3 minus B3, C2 minus B1 times A2, C3 minus A3, C2 plus C1 times A2, B3 minus A3, B2, which can be equal to A1 times minor of A1 minus B1 times minor of B1 plus C1 times minor of C1. This can be the first type of expansion of D. Similarly, we also find that D is equal to minus A2 times B1 C3 minus B3 C1 plus B2 times A1 C3 minus A3 C1 minus C2 times A1 B3 minus A3 B1, which can be written as minus A2 times minor of A2 plus B2 times minor of B2 minus C2 times minor of C2. This is the second expansion, usually called the expansion of D in terms of second row. Similarly, D can be equal to A3 times minor of A3 minus B3 times minor of B3 plus C3 times minor of C3. This is the third expansion. Also, D is equal to A1 times minor of A1 minus A2 times minor of A2 plus A3 times minor of A3. This is fourth. It is with the help of first column. Also, D is equal to minus B1 times minor of B1 plus B2 times minor of B2 minus B3 times minor of B3, and also equal to C1 times minor of C1 minus C2 times minor of C2 plus C3 times minor of C3. Thus, a determinant can be expressed with the help of the elements of any row or any column, but we have to be careful about the proper sign. For the elements of the determinant A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3, the sign scheme is as follows: plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, and plus. Every sign is calculated by its place. If it is ith row and jth column, the sign will be minus 1 raised to power I plus j. For example, we have first row, first column. The sign will be minus 1 raised to power 1 plus 1, that is minus 1 whole square will be plus 1, and so on. The working rule for the expansion of the determinant is as follows. Expansion of the determinant can be obtained with the help of any row or any column. Second, the expansion with the help of that line will be convenient, which has maximum number of zeros. Third, write the elements of a line along with their proper signs, multiply them by their minors, and their sum is the value of the determinant. Cofactors of an element. Well, cofactors of an element of a determinant is the coefficient of that element in the expansion of the determinant. It is equal to the minor of that element along with its proper sign. We have D equal to A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3, which when expanded with the help of first column gives us A1 times B2, C2, B3, C3 minus A2 times B1, C1, B3, C3 plus A3 times B1, C1, B2, C2. Cofactors of A1, A2, A3 are therefore the coefficients of A1, A2, A3, which are B2, C2, B3, C3, comma, minus B1, C1, B3, C3, and B1, C1, B2, C2. We denote the cofactors of A1, A2, A3, B1 dash 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 by their capitals as A1, capital A1, capital A2, capital A3, capital B1, and so on. We find the cofactors of an element by their corresponding minors multiplied by the proper sign of the element.